Hey guys, welcome back to the sixth installment of our tips and tricks series. Today I will be covering driving, everything you need to know in order to get the car started, everything you need to know in order to escape Jason, and everything you need to know in order to take all the secret paths in all three maps currently in the game. But without further ado, here we go. Okay, so starting out, you'll have to work together with your teammates to obtain three items. You'll need the battery, the gas, and the car keys. Without these, you will not be able to start the car and escape. So work with your teammates, communicate with your teammates in order to obtain these items, because if you try to find them all on your own, it's going to take a very long time, and you may not even ever find all the parts. So just make sure you're communicating with your teammates to get all the parts in, and you're going to want to have a good character with repair in order to install these parts, because if you install these parts and you fail, Jason's going to get alerted and he's going to come to you right away. Now, once you've gathered all the parts, you're going to have to start the car. And this, every time, will always alert Jason to starting the car. So just be aware of that Jason will most likely be coming right to you as soon as you start the car. Sometimes what I like to do is if there's two cars in the map, I like to wait a second because he doesn't know which car to go to. Now, if you're in the blue car, he's most likely going to just go right to the blue car. So just be aware of that and be ready to have a plan of escape. But obviously, on the Higgins map, if you spawn over at Stillwater with the car, your best option is to just drive right down the road, and you'll be stopping at the stop sign, which you can either escape left or right. If you go left, you'll get out faster because the right way takes a little bit longer. So make sure you choose wisely, because if Jason's blocking one path or the other, you'll have to go the opposite direction, which wastes more time, which means Jason's cooldowns can get off cooldown a lot faster. Now, what I like to do on all the maps, including this map Higgins, instead of taking the main road, I like to take back paths because they're a lot harder for Jason to stop you. They're a lot riskier, though, so just keep that in mind, but you can always take these back paths in order to make it a little harder for Jason to get you. Now, when you spawn at Stillwater, you can just back up instead of going forward, because Jason might get there right away. You might have no other option. So back up through the fence, and then you'll follow this path, as you can see here, all the way to this right exit gate. Now, when you get up through all the way through this path, you're going to see like a rock here and some trees and some other rocks. You want to try to avoid that rock right in the middle there to the right of the telephone pole, because if you hit that rock, I have gotten stuck on that rock, so just be careful. You can get around it, but it's very risky, like I said, so just be careful when you're driving. Now, if Jason happens to catch up with you, you can turn around and go the other way. If you follow this loop around, you'll end up finding another path that will lead you right back to the main road. So if you go around the loop and you go straight ahead, instead of making a left back to Stillwater, you're going to go this way. You're going to pass the map sign, and you're going to go right past the barn, which is to the left here. And this little path here will bring you right back to the main road, allowing you to get out to the exit easier. Now, if the car spawns at the Higgins Lodge, you might not just want to go straight forwards, because Jason will most likely TP right in front of you, cutting off your exit. Instead, do a little U-turn and cut right behind the Higgins Lodge, and this will lead you right up to the main road where you can make a left or right to escape. Now, if the car spawns over at Blair's, your first instinct may be to go right for the bridge, but that's not always a good idea, because Jason can get in front of that bridge and easily stop you. Instead, you might want to just back up and make a right at this last lodge on the side. It's a little bit hard, so if you gain some momentum, you can get over it, but just keep that in mind, because it's a little bumpy and there's tons of things to crash into, and especially that stump. Those stumps will stop you almost every time, so be careful when you're driving back here. It's very, very risky. Just follow these houses all the way along, and you don't have to go too fast, because it's kind of hard for Jason to get you back here, because if you're not being careful and cautious, you're gonna crash like you see right here, and Jason's gonna get you nice and easily. So just follow these paths. Past the last house, you're gonna come right back onto this main little path here, and this will lead you over to the graveyard like you see here. Now, once you pass the graveyard, this little path will go all the way along back to the Higgins house. So when you get all the way over here, you're going to come across a little tiny bridge, and it's going to look like the car's not going to fit, but the car will fit. Trust me, you just have to go really, really slow, because if you go too fast, obviously you'll crash and Jason will get you. And you definitely do not want to get stuck here. So make sure you're going very slow and being very cautious, because Jason will get you. And then, just like the path before, we're going to cut right behind the Higgins house and go right up to the main road. Now, moving on to Packanack, you obviously can go right down the main road, straight up to the big road, and right to the exits. But like I said, on every single map, the main road is very risky in terms of Jason, but these back paths are great for avoiding Jason, but they're very hard and risky, because you tend to crash a lot and run into little objects that will get your car stuck. But when you spawn at the lodge on Packanack, you can just make a right through the fence and go right up to this little house that's just south of it, and this path will lead you right up to the main road, and you can go right to the right exit real quick and easy. And again, if you spawn at the Packanack Lodge with the car, you can instead make a left right here and go right down these stairs, which is also super risky but super duper fun to go down. So you can go right down these stairs and make a left right after this little lifeguard tower, past the boats, through all these trees, and down the path. And you'll want to make sure there's a little tiny hidden path, and it's very hard to see, but it's right here at these little rocks. You're going to make a left, and it'll wrap you around right back to where the lodge is, and you can try to avoid Jason this way, and then follow this right path, which will again lead you past the little house just south of the lodge. And again, it will lead you right up to the main road and right to the right exit for a nice easy escape. But as you can see, I do crash a little bit. It's not easy. It's very difficult. It will take some getting used to, but these paths are really great, because usually they cut out a big chunk of the main road and get you to the exit a lot faster. So it's going to take some getting used to. Just keep practicing, keep trying it, and you will get it. It just takes time. Now, if the car spawns up in the Woodbury camp, you're not going to want to go around the circle, because that's going to give Jason the most amount of time to get over there and stop your car pretty easily. So instead, make a right at that first cabin on the right where the car's parked in front of, and you're going to follow this little path all the way down. And I believe at the end of this path there is a little fence, and you can go left here, but it's kind of tight and really hard to get through. So instead, make a right through these trees. Then you're going to make a really, really hard sharp left, and it's going to loop you right back around to the main road, leading you right up to your escape. Now, moving on to Camp Crystal Lake. Obviously, you can go straight down the road over to the main road, which will get you to your escape. But like I said, Jason will have a really easy time catching you here, because there's plenty of room for him to shift around and get in front of the car. So just consider that when you're escaping in the car. So you just go straight, you make a left onto this main road, and this will lead you right up to the very big road, which you can make a left, and the escape is literally 10 feet from right there. So just follow that path and you'll get to your escape. And of course, if you choose to take the main road coming from Birch Ridge, you can make a right instead, which will bring you this way, past the map sign and past the boathouse on the right here. And you can take this path all the way to the right exit as well for a nice easy escape. Now, of course, before you go anywhere in either of the cars, either the yellow or the blue car, you're always going to want to make sure you're picking up your teammates if they're alive. I never ever try to leave any of the maps without any teammates, no matter what. Even if I'm going to die, I always try to make sure I stop for my teammates. And if you have a passenger in the car, they can guide you to where your teammates are with the map to make it a lot easier for you. So make sure you're communicating with them on that as well. And again, if you spawn over at Birch Ridge, you might not want to take the main road, so instead try backing up right away into this little cubby, making a U-turn, and if you follow this path all the way down, you can just make it past this fence and this little bench that you see here, and you can squeeze through here and go right along this back path all the way back to the main road, leading you up to the exit. So just follow this little path, and Jason will have a very hard time getting to you, especially if he thought you were going to take the main road, which most people do, which will cut off half the map entirely and save you a lot of time and a lot of dealing with Jason time. Now, if the car spawns over at Camp Hillbrook, instead of just going straight away right down the main road, you can instead make a U-turn, bringing you right back around in the opposite direction. And instead of going straight down this main road, you're going to make a left up on this hill. And this part is really tight squeezed, so make sure you're very careful and driving fairly slow when going through there. And you're just going to follow these fences all the way down. Make sure you're following the fences. You're going to go through the archery range, and you're going to find another path here that's also going to lead you past the bathrooms, past all these camps up here, and it's going to lead you over through the woods all the way back to the main road for a nice easy escape on the left side of the map. Now, as you can see, we basically went in a huge circle, bringing us right back to Camp Hillbrook. If you don't want to go that way, which you obviously don't, because it's just going to make you waste more time going all the way back around, giving Jason more time for his cooldowns to come back up, you're going to instead make a right where this path continues on, right past in front of the bathrooms, and this will bring you to the main road in order for you to escape. Now, some of these paths are a little bit hard to see, so you really got to make sure you're paying attention. When you go past the bathrooms, you're going to have to do some maneuvering, and it'll lead you right back to this main road. You can follow it all the way down, all the way to this left gate for a nice, easy escape. Now, of course, Jason will be trying to stop you, and he'll most likely be using his shift in order to do so. So make sure you're paying attention to your map, and you're paying attention to when your screen gets staticky, because he'll most likely be shifting in front of the car in order to stop you. So don't be afraid to slam on your brakes and go in reverse. Even though reverse is slower, at least you can get away, and he can't catch up to you while moving. So make sure you're paying attention to your map, because that gives you a lot of information about where Jason's going and where he's trying to cut you off. So always pay attention to that, and slam on your brakes with spacebar and just go in reverse, and you can always do a U-turn when you make some distance from them and turn around to go faster. Now, we currently have 3 perks in reference to the car. The first one is Grease Monkey. This allows you to start the car faster when it hasn't been started or restarting the car. We also have Leadfoot, which increases the top speed while you are driving, and only you. And we have Speed Demon, which increases the car's top speed when you are escaping in the car alone. So use those perks if you want to use them. I personally don't use them, but they are useful in certain situations. But alright guys, that pretty much wraps everything up. Just make sure you're picking up your teammates, and make sure you have the smart characters doing all the work, because you don't want to alert Jason before you even get the car started. And don't be afraid to drive off-road. There's many different paths you can take, and there's many other ways you can take that aren't even on any paths, so just keep an eye out for that. Don't hit any trees, and drive real slow when you have to. But I'd love to give a huge shout out to Zachi and Gungrave 1044 for helping me out with this video. I couldn't have done it without them. They were a great help. They got into a private match with me, and they helped me find all the parts, and one of them was Jason, and helped us with previewing what it's like when Jason tries to get in front of you and everything. So shout out to them. Very great help. Thank you very much, Zachi and Gungrave, and I hope you guys enjoyed the video. I hope this was helpful. I hope you all have a great day, and I'll see you in the next video.